What's good, y'all? What is good? I hope y'all having a good start to your week. I hope y'all staying safe out here. Hope y'all living your best life. We about to get into this video though. We about to talk about relationships today and my experience with relationships. And y'all really been asking me how come I'm not in a relationship? Am I dating anybody? You know, what's the backstory on it? And I'm about to give y'all the honest answer, man. Like, relationships in me just haven't worked out. And I'm not even over here saying because I don't want to be in a relationship. That's not the case at all. I love being in relationships. I enjoy relationships. I'm not saying I need a relationship. I enjoy being by myself. I've learned how to love myself and do things by myself to get to the point where I can, you know, be in a relationship because I don't need that other person to feel what's missing from me, fill that void. Like, I just want them to add to it. So I feel like I'm at a good point where, like, I am not against relationships. There was a point in time where, you know, I was not the best in relationships and I was, you know, self-sabotaging relationships, getting in my head and, you know, just ruining potentially good relationships. I'm not gonna sit here and act like, you know, the relationship would have worked out if I didn't do these things, because everything happens for a reason. How I acted in relationships stems back from childhood trauma that we'll get into at another time. In terms of like receiving love and loving others, that was not something I was comfortable with. That was not something that I was good at. So anytime someone tried to get close, I'd have a ton of walls up. Like, you was not knocking them walls down unless you really were doing the most. Like, I was making people do the most to try and get to my heart because I was not trying to just give it up to anybody. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I'd make them jump through crazy hoops. And, you know, the second that they didn't want to anymore, that told me, I'm like, all right, they never cared. Or if they were able to do it, I'm like, all right, I can keep them around. But even after that, I would find the smallest things to, you know, break up with them over, or just end things over. It could be as dumb as the way you walk, the way you talk, just whatever it was. I was trying to find the smallest things to pick out and nitpick and, you know, eat at that to the point where I'm like, yeah, I can't be with them no more. And then I would just let them go, you know, or just making excuses for no reason, you know. And every time I would tell these people like why I couldn't, I would just be lying straight to their face. And, you know, I think about it to this day. I'm like, yeah, I really was lying to a lot of women. And if y'all watching this, I apologize. But that ain't even the point. The point is that, you know, relationships are hard. And I think that was the number one thing. I just didn't want to do the work. Relationships are work. I was very young at, you know, when I got into my first long-term relationship. I've been in 3 long-term relationships. And, you know, the first one, like I said in high school, if you watch my previous videos, you know, I got my heart broken. I feel like I needed that. Like, everybody needs to get their heart broke at one point in time, because I feel like that really helps you as you get older, you know. But that also changed my mindset, and that also made me resent relationships and self-sabotage relationships because I was just scared of love. At that point, I really put myself out there and I got hurt, and at that point I was like, never again am I gonna do this. So I had all my walls up, and from that point on, like, anybody I dated, anybody I was seeing, like, it never lasted. I always ask myself, I'm like, why hasn't this lasted? Like, why can't I be in relationships? Can I actually love somebody? Like, can I actually make a connection with somebody? And it was part of it was because of lust. I ain't gonna even lie. But the other half was just because I didn't know how to love somebody. I didn't know how to be loved. I didn't know how to receive it or give it back. Like, it was so hard and uncomfortable for me. And when I think about it now, I like cringe, because that's really not who I am now. Like, yeah, I'm still cautious going into relationships, as most people should be. Like, really get to know someone, really get to see who they are before you just jump into something. Or, you know, I feel like we use that term love a little too loosely. Like, for me, like, if I'm gonna be in love with someone, like, you really gotta come with a lot of things that I'm looking for, and you really gotta show me without me having to, you know, make you jump through these hoops. Like, I'm gonna see who you are after getting to know you, but I'm not gonna do the most to, you know, make you earn it by doing all these crazy things to prove that, you know, you deserve to be in my life. Like, that's not what I want to do anymore. That's what I used to do, and it was exhausting for that other person. And I realize that now, and I'm like, I really made these people do a lot of things that I shouldn't have done. I ain't over here saying I was doing crazy things. I was just like, I just needed a lot of reassurance, and I was doing just a lot of things to have them prove that they were loyal and that they weren't going anywhere. But at the end of the day, I would still sabotage it, end it, push them to the side, and then boom, another person a couple months later. I would be with these people for, you know, a month or 2 and just be dating them. And then once found a reason not to date them anymore, I would go date somebody else. And I know y'all looking at me like, damn, this man is toxic. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I was toxic. I was very toxic. I still have some toxic traits and I'm still working through, but that takes time. You know, like I said, everything that I put on here is my authentic self, and everything that I do now is through God, for God, and how, you know, I step every day and how I come to y'all every day and just everyday life is how I can please God, how I can do right by him, because I've done a lot of things to a lot of people that I'm not proud of, and not anything where like it, you know, hurt them physically, none of that. It's just, you know, some things I do have regrets on, but at the end of the day, I can't really say I'm mad at myself because it's got me to this point. And I'd rather be self-aware of my mistakes, you know, now and previous years than, you know, still be in my ways like I was a few years ago right now. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm making that progress. I'm, you know, learning from my mistakes and I'm growing. Honestly, the truth is why I just haven't been in relationships is because I don't trust a lot of people. And y'all know this, like, especially now with social media, there's so many outlets to be able to communicate with people all around the world in different states. Like, it ain't like it used to be. I feel like when I was in high school, when Instagram first started, like, it was so easy to be in relationships. It was so easy to meet people. You know, everyone didn't have these high expectations. Like, what you see today is just night and day from where I was, you know, 10, 12 years ago to now in terms of relationships. Like, it's so hard to really find genuine people and, you know, really build that connection, because monogamy is not a thing. I don't really think, like, people claim they want it, but they're really, men and women are hypergamous. They want the next best thing. If someone's doing this, but they don't have that, they're gonna find the next person who has that and something better. Like, that's what I think relationships have come to. And I'm not saying all of them are. I'm saying that that's what's been put into our brains, and that's why I just had to remove myself from social media, because I was looking at it as, you know, I can talk to whoever I wanted, whenever I wanted. Well, how am I gonna be in a relationship when I'm seeing this person who looks better than that person, and the next person looks better than this person? And it just sells a fantasy. It's not real life. In terms of relationships, like, yeah, I've never been the best at them, but I'm learning and I'm growing. I want the question, like, am I single? Am I seeing somebody? I am currently seeing somebody. When the time is right, the time will be right. But like I said, I keep my relationships private, not because I got anything to hide, but like anything that's personal, especially in that subject, because a lot of people are out here trying to ruin relationships. A lot of people are out here trying to ruin people's lives. And I ain't saying that's none of y'all. I ain't saying any of my subscribers. It could be, I don't know. All I'm saying is, like, if y'all are in relationships, keep that protected. Keep that between y'all. Don't let anybody else or other people dictate how y'all live your lives and your respective relationships. I feel like too many outside factors, too many people have opinions on relationships, and that's why relationships never work, because y'all start letting other people dictate what you should and shouldn't be doing in a relationship when it's not even theirs. It's between you and the person that you're with, seeing, dating, whatever it is. I think that's one thing that I've taken away from relationships, is that, like, when you start letting everybody into your relationship, it never lasts. And I've done that in the past, where I've let everybody know what's going on and this, and, you know, it's just skewed my mindset on a lot of things, and it ruins a lot of relationships. And I think, you know, for those who are pursuing somebody or in a relationship, like, yo, just keep it between you and the person you with. You know, deal with those problems with people that you truly trust. Don't be going out here telling everybody your business about relationships, about what's going on, about where you're traveling to, where you're doing this. Like, keep it between you and a few people. People that you really trust, because I promise you, not everybody has your best interest in relationships. And it's like, everybody claims they want to be in a relationship, but they don't want to put the work to be in a relationship. And that was one thing I struggled with, like, finding out that relationships are work. I used to always want the next, like, exciting thing. When things got boring, when things got dull, like, I would think, like, damn, this relationship ain't going nowhere. But that's how it is at times. I feel like now I love relationships that are not boring, but like when I have no problems, no drama, we just living, we just chilling, traveling at peace. That's the type of relationship that you want. You don't want constant arguing, you know, constant toxicity, constant whatever, abuse, mentally, physically. I hope none of y'all are actually getting abused in either of those ways, because if you are, I promise y'all gotta seek help. And I'm not saying that there's something wrong with you, but like, you really gotta reach out to someone or really get out that relationship, because it's not healthy. Everyone out here deserves the best relationship possible. Everyone deserves to find their future partner, future husband, future wife, whatever the case may be. But I'm telling y'all the truth, like, me in relationships, we're getting back to the point where I feel like I can learn to really love somebody, and I'm getting to that point where I can accept that love and not look at it as, you know, pity, or look at it as I'm less than, or whatever it is, make me look weak. All that masculine, feminine, whatever it is, man, I don't even care about that. I know I'm masculine in certain aspects and I'm feminine in other aspects. I can be a leader, and I can also let whoever I'm with lead as well at times for certain things. Like, I don't want to be, you know, that person who's like an alpha. You're doing it my way or no way. Like, I don't want to be that person. I used to be that person. I don't want that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I'm masculine in my own frame, but at the same time, like, if I want to be a little softy to the person I'm with, I'm gonna be a little softy. Too many of us try to act hard all the time, and we don't want to, you know, seem weak when we're with our significant other because it's a sign of weakness or a sign of like feminism, whatever all that stuff is. Like, I don't even care about that. And I know I'm going on this rant right now, but all I'm saying is relationships are work. Relationships take time. Relationships, you know, if you can't be loved or can give out love, then I promise you, you got to do the work on your own to really learn how to love yourself and really do that self-work, because it's a process. Like, it's something that I'm still working on to this day, not struggling with, but still, you know, battling. It's a battle. But I know, because I got God on me, I know because I trust in the work that I put in, that I will have a very successful relationship whenever my next relationship is. And it's gonna be the way that I've always dreamed of, because I've done the work. Most of us don't want to do the work because, you know, we just jump from relationship to relationship, and it's like, come on now, y'all got to do the work. If the relationships ain't been working, you got to look in the mirror and ask yourself, what am I doing wrong and how am I going to fix it? Because at a point in time, like, it's going to get old when your relationships start and end, and before you know it, you 40 years old and you still over here looking for that person. I'm trying to say, if you that age and haven't found anybody, that there's something wrong with you. You know, if you're doing the work on your own, you're doing the work on your own. Wait for that person and wait for that right one. But don't be out here just jumping relationship to relationship with no type of purpose. That's all I had to say for this video, man. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Stay blessed.